I hate theater. Well, it's so disappointing, isn't it? You know what I do when I'm sitting in a darkened theater waiting for the show to begin? I pray. Oh, dear God, please let it be a good show. And let it be short, oh Lord in heaven, please. 2 hours is fine. 3 hours is too much. And keep the actors out of the audience, God. I didn't pay good money to have the fourth wall come crashing down around my ears. I just want a story and a few good songs that will take me away. I just want to be entertained. I mean, isn't that the point? Amen. You know, there was a time when people sat in darkened theaters and thought to themselves, what have George and Ira Gershwin got for us tonight? Or can Cole Porter pull it off again? Can you imagine? Now it's, please, Elton John, must we continue this charade? It used to be, sitting there in the dark, you knew that when the show began, you would be taken to another world. A world full of color and music and glamour. And you thought to yourself, my God, when are they going to bring up the lights? Oh, how things have changed. Hello, how are we today? I'm feeling a little blue myself. You know, a little anxious for no particular reason, a little sad that I should feel anxious at this age. You know, a little self-conscious anxiety resulting in non-specific sadness, a state that I call blue. Anyway, whenever I'm feeling this way, blue, I like to listen to my music. So I was going through my records this morning, yes, records, and I was about to put on the soundtrack recording of Meredith Willson's The Music Man. I had a craving for a young Ronnie Howard. But then I thought, no, let's have a treat. Let's disappear for a while into the decadent world of the 1920s, when the champagne flowed while the caviar chilled and all the world was a party. For the wealthy, anyway. So I dug about, and what did I find? But one of my favorite shows, Gable and Stein's The Drowsy Chaperone. Remember? Music by Julie Gable, lyrics by Sidney Stein. It's a 2-record set remastered from the original recording made in 1928. It's the full show with the original cast, including Beatrice Stockwell as the chaperone. Isn't she elegant? And this is a full 15 years before she became Dame Beatrice Stockwell. Shall I read to you what it says in the back? It says, mix-ups, mayhem, and a gay wedding. Of course, the phrase gay wedding has a different meaning now, but back then it just meant fun. And that's just what this show is, fun. So, would you indulge me? Would you let me play the record for you now? I was hoping you would say yes. You hear that static? I love that sound. To me, it's the sound of a time machine starting up. All right now, let's visualize. Imagine, if you will, it's November 1928. You just arrived at the doors of the Morosco Theater in New York. It's very cold. Remember when it used to be cold in November? Not anymore. November's the new August now. It's global warming. We're all doomed. Anyway, it's very cold, and a heavy gray sleet is falling from the sky, but you don't care, because you're going to see a Broadway show. Listen. Isn't this wonderful? It helps if you close your eyes. Overtures. Overtures are out of style now. I miss them. It's the show's way of welcoming you. Hello, welcome. The meal will be served shortly, but in the meantime, would you like an appetizer? That's what an overture is, a musical appetizer. A poo-poo platter of tunes, if you will. sounds like a dance tune. Kind of rollicking. Maybe involving pirates. Don't worry, there are no pirates. Now, here it comes. It's the moment when the music starts to build and you know you're only seconds away from being transported. The curtain is going up. I can't wait.
Yes, madam.
How do I look?
You look radiant, Mrs. Tottendale.
I do love this dress, though. It never goes out of style.
It's a miracle, madam.
My dress, my fancy dress. I don't know why I'm wearing it, I must confess. My dress, I love my dress. Would someone tell me why I put it on?
Yes, your dress, your onesie dress. 'Twas such a pleasure airing it, restitching and repairing it. God bless your dress, it's one fine dress, and I will tell you why you put it on. Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime. Madam, you're the hostess and it's happy wedding time. Wedding bells will ding, wedding bells will dong. Wedding bells will ding-a-ling and we will ding along.
Bless your dress, your fancy dress. We're very, very glad you put it on.
Wedding guests have come.
Wedding guests are here. Wedding guests are at the door and soon they will appear.
I'm Robert, the bridegroom. I'm here to marry Janet, that star of Belting's follies, whom I love a lot. I'm George, that's George, his best man George. I'm honored to be doing what a best man ought. Mrs. Tottendale, don't worry, I have this whole thing planned out. The key is organization. See, each string represents a task yet to be completed. Pay the musicians, yell at the florist, book the minister. This whole wedding's going to run like clockwork.
Oh, is there going to be a wedding?
I'm Felting, producer. I lost my leading lady. I gotta stop this wedding or I ain't got squat.
I'm kidding, just kidding. I came with Mr. Felting. I'll be a leading lady if I get my shot. Pastry chefs, we cross our hearts, we're pastry chefs. No bakery, our bakery is what we've got.
Adolfo, my name it is Adolfo. I am the king of romance, so I kiss a lot.
You are the king of romance, so you kiss a lot. Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime. Wedding bells will celebrate a happy wedding time. Someone hasn't come. Someone isn't here. Where is Janet Vandergraff and when will she appear? It's Janet Vandergraff. I'm Janet Vandergraff, here to marry Robert Martin, giving up a life of glamour to tie the knot.
Chaperone of Janet Vandergraff, maid of honor, friend and confidant, and all that rot. Where's the bar?
A wedding, hooray!
It's prohibition, madam.
A wedding, how gay!
Good thing I brought my own.
A wedding today.
Champagne makes me drowsy.
It's really happening. Truly happening, almost happening, always happening. I'm Trix, the aviatrix, Well, there you have it. All the guests have arrived. We have a bride sweeping up the stage for love, her debonair bridegroom, a harried producer, jovial gangsters posing as pastry chefs, a flaky Corinne, a Latin Lothario, and an aviatrix. And of course, my favorite character, the Drowsy chaperone. What more do you need for an evening's entertainment? Wasn't that wonderful? And we will ding along. I don't even know what that means. All right, I'll lead you through this record as best I can. Don't worry, it won't be hard to follow. So, we begin with a welcome from the love-struck groom.
Well, I just wanted to thank all of you for coming. I tell you, I must be some lucky fellow. Who would have thought that I, Robert Martin, would be marrying a glamorous showgirl, and that glamorous showgirl would be willing to give up her successful career for me, Robert Martin. Now, if it weren't for Prohibition, I'd say, let's raise a glass.
Hear, hear.
Yes. To Miss Janet Vandergraff, the most beautiful girl in the world.
Absolutely not.
Excuse me?
Don't you know? It's bad luck for the groom to see his bride on the day of the wedding.
I hope you heard that, because that's the plot. Basically. Hang on for the ride.
Breakfast will be served in the Arabian room.
Say, it's a bit early in the day to be drinking, isn't it?
I don't understand the question.
Look, you're the chaperone. You have one job. You need to keep Janet away from Robert. You understand?
Aye, aye, mon, Capitan.
Oh, Robert, who's my little monkey?
I'm your monkey.
So, the bride and the groom are whisked away, and we turn our attention to the B-plot, which involves the producer. Mr. Beltzig!
Getting married and leaving show business.
Mr. Beltzig!
Doesn't she know I got obligations?
Mr. Beltzig! I can be your leading lady! You said it yourself. I'm useless in the chorus.
Kitty, I don't have time for this.
But I've been taking lessons. Singing, acting, ballet.
Ballet?
Yeah! And I'm pretty good too. Last week I auditioned for Swanee Lake. A little annotation. Kitty and Feldzig were a couple in real life, Jack and Sadie Adler. Now, this is a familiar comic construct, a stupid woman and her long-suffering companion. Well, she appears stupid, but in the end she does something clever that makes everyone wonder whether it was all just an act. The irony here is that Sadie actually was quite stupid. Jack had to explain all the jokes to her, apparently. But still, she had a wonderful career on the stage. At that time, the theater was the only place where stupid people could earn a decent living. This was before television, of course.
Kitty, I don't have time for this.
A petit four, Mr. Feltzig?
Not now.
Perhaps a nice profiterole.
Boys, I'm not hungry.
Then perhaps we could give you something else to chew on. Yeah, something that ain't food.
What?
Your confusion is to be expected. Although we stand here in the guise of innocent pastry chefs, we are also, and primarily, employees of a certain individual.
A certain individual?
A certain individual who happens to be the largest single investor in Feldzig Follies, and he has sent us here as pastry chefs to express his concern about Miss Vandergraff's impending nuptials, specifically that if she gets married and leaves the show, then there ain't no show.
Say, don't I know you?
No, you don't.
How
Have you ever spent any time in Toledo? Have you ever spent any time in a coma? Huh? No, but I have a cousin who lives in Seattle.
Kitty,
What?
boys, you tell your boss this wedding's never going to happen. You have my word.
Oh, we'll take your word, all right. But you go back on that word would be a recipe for disaster. One can only hope. You must gotta be kidding me.
You trifle much?
Don't chat with me.
Boys, you can drop the pastry chef routine.
Alas, we ganache. We're on the wham. Lamb's an entree, you macaroon.
The gangsters were played by interchangeable vaudeville duo the Tall Brothers, John and Peter Tall. They were born Abram and Mendel Maslaskowitz, but were renamed at Ellis Island by a sarcastic immigration official. Now, they were an early example of the typical Broadway gangster, full of wordplay and stylized movements. Not very intimidating, unless you find dancers intimidating, which I do, but for reasons that would not be appropriate to this situation.
We'll leave the matter in your hands, Mr. Feltzig. In the meantime, feel free to browse the dessert carousel. Try the Toledo surprise. It's to die for. Holy cats, Mr. Feltzig! They're gangsters!
Very perceptive. Now go powder your face. I've got to stop this wedding. But how? Oh, Lord in heaven, how? How?
I always thought that moment was a little overplayed. So, with the story well in its way, let's go to the groom's room.
Hey there, handsome. Show me those pearly whites.
The groom was played by the dashing Percy Hyman. He started out as the Albright toothpaste man. His fabulous smile adorned every tube. Albright was hugely popular in the early 20s because it contained cocaine. Oh, it's true. If you looked at the label, it was the 5th ingredient down, right after sugar. Anyway, it wasn't long before he became a huge matinee idol.
Now, don't worry. It's perfectly normal for a groom to be nervous on his wedding day. It is? Oh, of course it is.
I love Percy Hyman. Now, some people say he was a bad actor, but to those people I say, shut up.
Hey there, Mr. Mirror Man, shaking and a-quaking, trembling like them fraidy cats do. Something big be bothering you. Cold beats, brother, you got cold beats. You can make them cold beats hot with the little rhythm. Young beats, old beats can be uncontrolled. Rhythm make them cold beats trot down the aisle, cross the arches so they can learn to swing. Icy toes can jive. Wedding marches played in a ragtime swing make the frigid souls come alive and take that dive. Cold beats, shmoe beats, turn them into bow beats. Rather make them cold beats hot.
Say, well, why don't you just slide back into your mud hole, you backstabbing worm? Now I have to find another minister. Say, what are you up to?
I'm singing a song an old friend taught me, a Dixie remedy for wedding day jitters.
You think you got jitters? You got the easy part. I have to get the rice, the boutonnieres, the minister. I have the weight of the wedding on my shoulders.
George, it sounds like you got cold feet.
What do I got?
Cold feet.
What do I want?
Bold feet.
What do I do? Scold feet?
No! You make the cold feet hot.
A 5, 6, 7, 8. Cold beats, cold beats. Turn them into cold beats. Really make them cold beats. Ha! Make the cold beats hot. Make the cold beats hot. Make the cold beats. Make the cold beats hot.
Percy Hyman was a wonderful performer. I like to think of him panting and sweating after a long dance routine. He's still alive, you know. I saw him on the news recently celebrating his 100th birthday. To say that the passing years had taken their toll on him would be a grotesque understatement. They wheeled him out and he had that wide-eyed expression of pain, confusion that God reserves for the very, very old on their birthday. You know, the one that says, "Who are you? Who am I? And why is this cake on fire?" You know what I'm talking about? Anyway.
All right, that's enough of that. Dancing around like a fool.
Sorry, George. I was just trying to calm my nerves. It is my wedding day, after all.
Well, you could have snapped an ankle. Tap dancing is far too dangerous. Why don't you go out for a skate instead? That's what I do when I need to blow off some steam.
Oh, George, you think of everything.
Oh, wait, no. What was I thinking? You can't go out looking like that, my friend. You might see Janet. Here, put on this blindfold.
Ah. Oh, George, what would I do without you?
Just looking out for you, my boy. No more tap dancing. Wedding bells will ring. Wedding bells will chime. Wedding bells will celebrate.
Just ignore it. It will stop soon. It does this occasionally. It rings. Just ignore it. What? What do you want?
Hello, you've reached my answering machine. Please leave a short message after the tone, and I'll call you back at my convenience.
Well, that's it. It's ruined. Thank you. Thank you, life. It's like a cell phone going off in a theater. God, I hate that. Hello? What are you doing? Oh, I'm at the theater ruining the moment. What about you? Oh, I couldn't make it out tonight, so I thought I'd ruin the moment by proxy. Sorry. Let's just shake that off. Let's go back in our minds to 1928. They didn't have cell phones in 1928, but I'm sure they had something for ruining the moment. Bugles or something.
Happy wedding time!
So, the scene shifts, and we find the bride, the glamorous Janet Vandergraff, entered entertaining questions from reporters as she lounges by the pool.
Miss Vandegraff, is it true you're giving up a successful career to marry a man you hardly even know?
Yes. Robert and I met on the Lido deck of the Isle de France.
Aww.
He amused me with stories of his father's oil interests. We spooned, briefly, and then he proposed.
So you won't be returning to the stage? Ever?
I shan't.
You shan't?
I shan't.
Can we quote you on that?
Of course. One more question. Yes?
Why in the world would anyone put olives in a Gibson?
I got a question. How can you give up the footlights when you know full well you got grease paint in your veins?
Victor, please.
Janet, I'm begging you. Dump the mug. Stay with the Follies. I'll give you anything. I'll put your name above mine on the marquee.
Oh, Victor. If you think this is about vanity, you couldn't be more wrong. I don't want to show off no more. I don't want to sing tunes no more. I don't want to ride moons no more. I don't want to show off. I don't want to wear this no more. Play the saucy Swiss Miss no more. Blow my signature no more. I don't want to show off.
Janet, please.
Don't try to control me. I've made up my mind, and that's it. I quit. I'm leaving it all behind. I don't want to be cute no more. Make the gentleman hoot no more. I don't want to wear fruit no more. I don't want to show off.
missed something?
Mr. Felton! It's painfully obvious Miss Vandergraaf has no desire to continue a life on stage. Can't you see it's killing us all?
Don't worry, boys. This isn't over yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't do an encore.
I don't wanna encore no more. Keep on shouting for more. Disappear through the fridge no more. I don't wanna show.
That was Jane Roberts as the bride. She was the Oops Girl, remember? Surely you remember the Oops Girl. Don't you people read? She was billed as the girl whose sexual energy was so great that it caused the men around her to have accidents, spill their drinks, drive their cars into trees, and she would just go, oops, oops. Well, I'm not really doing it justice, but people ate it up. She made a whole series of films. Oops, The Oops Girl Come Home, and Oops Girl at Sea, which won an Oscar for special effects.
Okay. So begging and groveling didn't work. On to plan B. And for that, I'm gonna need an accomplice. Someone gullible, with loose morals. What do you call him? A European!
La 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 la.
In walks Aldolfo, self-proclaimed ladies' man. Aldolfo was played by former silent film star and world-class alcoholic Roman Bartelli. He was the one who later drank himself to death in his chateau in Nice, remember? It was 5 days before they found the body, and by that time it had been partially consumed by his poodles. Well, he was only partially consumed.
Excuse me. I don't believe we've met.
I'm Adolfo.
You are Aldolfo?
Yes, I am. Adolfo.
Not the Aldolfo.
Yes, I am. Adolfo.
Funny. You don't look like a scoundrel.
Yeah, what?
Why, just now I overheard the groom saying that Aldolfo is a scoundrel.
Adolfo is a scoundrel?
Those very words.
Adolfo is a scoundrel.
It's like I'm hearing it again.
This is outrageous. He's saying this to people, to beautiful ladies. Why? I must.
You must take matters into your own hands.
Yes, I must take this groom into my hands and kill him.
Yes! No! Don't kill him. Just hurt him enough so he can't get married.
Show me to this groom. Wait,
What?
what kind of man is this groom? A big man?
Well,
A burly fellow?
he's big on the outside.
No. Adolfo will not fight big men. Small, pale, wheezy little dwarf men that Adolfo can punt far away. But no big men.
So you're a lover, not a fighter.
Yes, Adolfo is a lover of beautiful ladies. Some say I am the king of romance.
Well, you know what they say. The best way to get back at a man is through his...
Door.
No. The best way to get back at a man is through his...
Window.
No. Revenge, back at a man, through his...
Through his? There is no other ways. I'm not Santa Claus climbing down through chimney.
Through his woman!
Ah, through his woman.
Yes, Adolfo, you must seduce his woman.
His woman.
His bride.
Adolfo will make love to bride. That will show people that Adolfo is no scoundrel. Show me to this bride. Wait, what? What kind of woman is this bride? A big woman?
No,
A burly woman?
she's the cat's pajamas.
Pijamas?
She's a looker, an attractive woman.
Ah, show me to this cat in pajamas. Adolfo will make her
Stop.
like a cat in pajamas.
Roman Bartelli chewing the scenery. You certainly couldn't get away with a performance like that nowadays, now could you? Mature, contemporary audiences are too sophisticated to enjoy broad racial stereotypes on the stage, so we banish them to Disney. Let the children sort it out.
Underling?
Yes, madam.
The pastry chefs have been kind enough to provide the liquor for the party. But remember, Underling, we have to be discreet.
Yes, madam.
It is prohibition after all.
I am aware of that, madam.
We'll have to use code words. For instance, if someone asks for a glass of ice water, it means they want a glass of vodka. Have you got that?
Yes, madam.
Are you sure? Maybe you should write it down.
I understand, madam. A glass of ice water is a glass of vodka.
What's a glass of ice water?
Vodka.
Ice water.
Vodka?
Ice.
Vodka.
Well, you see, that's settled then. One less thing to worry about. Underling, might I please have a glass of ice water? I found our meeting with the pastry chefs rather trying, and I would enjoy a glass of refreshing ice water.
Your ice water, madam.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
I hate this scene.
Well, now I do need a glass of ice water.
A glass of ice water, madam.
Yes, ice water. Are you going deaf?
Would that I were.
You can see where this is going, can't you? It's really just a series of spit takes.
Your ice water, madam.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
You know, in some ways, the Drowsy chaperone was quite progressive. A female actress playing an aviator, for instance.
Your ice water, madam.
That was pure vodka, you poop!
Yes, some elements were quite progressive. Others were stale in 1928. You know what? I'm going to skip ahead.
Where do you think you're going?
To find some lime juice, madam.
Lime juice? For heaven's sake, why?
I'm going to wring out my eyebrows and make myself a gimlet.
Now, you're probably asking yourself, what was that routine doing in the show? Well, it's very simple. There's a song coming up, and they needed something to allow for the set change. It's mechanics. Let me explain what I mean by that. In a musical, the story only exists to connect the longer, more engaging production numbers.
In a few hours, I'm going to be Mrs. Robert Martin. Oh, my head is spinning.
Yes, life is a mad world.
This is a really interesting scene. This is the only time in the show that Jane Roberts and Beatrice Stockwell are alone together on stage. Now, Jane Roberts was an emerging star, but Beatrice Stockwell was already well established and a force to contend with.
I'm so full of apprehension, but I suppose that's normal, considering the circumstances. Have you ever been married, chaperone?
Oh, no. I drink for pleasure, not out of necessity.
Your ice water, madam. I'm afraid we are fresh out of olives.
Have you ever been married, underling?
Heavens, no, madam. If I'm going to serve a woman, I prefer to be paid for my efforts.
Oh, you two. I know it seems crazy to give up a successful career to marry a man I hardly know, but for some reason, when I look into his eyes, his big, monkey eyes, I get all woozy, and that's love, isn't it?
Not necessarily. I mean, the wooziness could be caused by any number of things. I mean, I'm woozy right now, and I'm certainly not in love.
Now, Beatrice Stockwell was famous for her rousing anthems. She entertained and inspired the troops in every major world conflict, up to and including the Falklands War. Of course, by that time, she was in her late 80s, and her anthems didn't so much rouse as stupefy. But still, she demanded that a rousing anthem be included in every show she ever did, even if it wasn't appropriate. But you just couldn't say no to her. That's star power.
Really, you're not being the least bit helpful. Couldn't you at least allay my fears with a few choice words of inspiration?
Inspiration? Dear, that's not quite my forte.
Yes, but if you...
As we stumble along through life's funny journey, as we stumble along into the blue, we look here and we look there, seeking answers anywhere, never sure of where to turn or what to do. Still we bumble our way through life's crazy labyrinth, never knowing left from right nor right from wrong. And the best that we can do is hope a bluebird will sing his song as we stumble along.
That was quite... That was quite nice, chaperone, but I don't see how it pertains to my situation.
Let me explain.
Oh, really? That's not necessary. I suppose I'm just looking for a sympathetic...
It's a dismal little world in which we live. It can bore you till there's nothing left to give. 7 overrated wonders, 7 underwhelming seas, 6 excruciating continents, Antarctica, oh please.
Antarctica, oh please.
Still you mustn't let it lick ya. This planet, oh so bland. Keep your eyeball on the highball in your hand. As we stumble along through life's crowded dance floor, as we push and we shove, we live and we learn. And when we finally leave the bar and we see that morning star, we pull our bootstraps up and homeward turn. Then we stumble away through dawn's blinding sunbeams, never knowing right from right nor left from wrong.
awesome. But that's what I love about her. She just does her own thing, when she wants, regardless of the needs and concerns of others. My mother was like that.
That was quite inspiring, chaperone. But I'm still conflicted. Oh, please, just tell me. Is Robert the man for me?
My dear, that's something you'll have to decide for yourself.
But I just don't know if he loves me.
Why don't you just ask him? Why don't you say, Roger, do you love me?
It's Robert. And I'm not allowed to see him. In fact, it's your job to keep me away from him.
You're right. And I take the responsibility very seriously. However, I'm just this moment feeling terribly, terribly drowsy. I'm afraid I'll have to have a lie down. But whatever you do, don't go wandering through the garden in seek of your fiancé to ask him the question upon which your future happiness depends.
Oh, thank you, chaperone. I just have to know if he loves me.
Oh, such a skinny little fool. Still, I envy her. When will love come crashing through my door?
La 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 la.
Look who it is. It's Aldolfo, come to seduce the bride.
I am Adolfo.
Try not to think of the poodles when you're listening to this part.
I am Adolfo, and you are bride.
No, I am not.
What? This is bridal suite, and you are the only one here. Therefore, you must be bride.
Interesting argument, but I'm afraid you are a moron.
What?
Me, no bride. Perhaps I could take a message.
Yes, very good. Dear Van de Graaff bride, I must make love to you and transport you to a place of ecstasy. The sooner is better. Signed, Adolfo, king of romance.
Well, you saw through my little ruse. You've found me out.
Ah, so you are the bride.
Apparently, yes. Take me, Adolphus.
No. Not Adolphus. Adolfo, I must make you remember my name. How can I make you remember? I'm sure that you have heard the name Adolfo, a ladies' man who wins the claim Adolfo. Well, lovely miss, I am the same Adolfo. I introduce myself, I am Adolfo.
Nice to meet you. Shall we?
Not so fast. Now, just in case you didn't hear Adolfo, I tried to make it very clear, Adolfo. The lovely ladies always cheer Adolfo. When I repeat myself, I am Adolfo.
Understood.
I can sing it high, Adolfo. I can sing it low, Adolfo. I can sing it very fast, Adolfo. I can sing it very slowly. I do it now, but it could take hours. Now let us see if you can remember my name.
I'll give it a shot.
Now who's the fellow that you see?
Adolfo.
And how should you refer to me?
Adolfo.
And who is it I'll always be?
Adolfo.
Now sing it proudly.
You are Adolfo.
me spell it out for you. For all you lovely ladies who did not hear me for some reason. Maybe you are hard of hearing or something. I don't know. It goes. Adolfo.
That was my mother's favorite number in the show. I think it was her secret fantasy to be swept off her feet by a Latin lover. I mean a real Latin lover, not a buffoon. But that's what musicals are all about, right? Romantic fantasy, falling in love at the drop of a hat, spontaneous tangoing, suddenly finding yourself in an insanely romantic setting.
I'm an accident waiting to happen. La da 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 da. La da 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 da.
Look out!
Whoa! Sorry, ma'am. I'm getting married today, so I have to wear this blindfold.
A blindfold?
I'm sorry. Who am I speaking to anyhow?
Why, it's me. I mean, Mimi. Mimi from France.
This scene couldn't be more ridiculous.
So, you are marrying Jeannette van de Graaf, no?
Oui.
I hear she's very beautiful
Oui.
and glamorous.
Ah, oui, oui.
Is it true that she has an exceptionally broad range and excels at playing both comedic and dramatic roles?
I'm sorry. What part of France are you from?
Oh, the middle part, where they make the toast. You were telling me about your, how do you say it in English, fiancé?
That's right.
Well, tell me, when was the moment when you knew she was the only one for you?
Well, we were sitting on the Lido deck of the Isle of France.
Yes?
I was amusing her with stories of my father's oil interests.
And then what happened?
I looked into her eyes, her big, glamorous eyes, and I felt all woozy.
And then you fell. And then you fell?
Yes, right on my keister. And then I said, I guess I don't have my sea legs yet.
But we haven't left the dock.
That's what she said. And then I knew it must be love.
And then you said,
And then I said, there was a time I could stop on a dime. Forbearance was one of my talents. But since you've come around, I can't hold my ground. I'm consistently losing my balance. I'm an accident waiting to happen. I'm a mishap about to ensue. I'm the toy on the stair, the three-legged chair, the hem that's been caught by a shoe. When my two lovesick arms started flapping, there was nothing my ankles could do. I'm an accident waiting to happen, so how be I happen to you?
and then what happened?
Well, then she joined in.
When men say I'm sweet and they fall at my feet, my heart doesn't beat any faster. But when you lose control, it touches my soul. So I'm bracing myself for disaster. You're an accident waiting to happen, a catastrophe destined to be.
That's me. I'm the rags in the cellar.
A broken umbrella
a branch hanging loose from a tree.
I can see myself jumping and clapping for a man who lives dangerously.
You're an accident waiting to happen.
So hurry and happen to me. And then what happened?
Well, then we kissed.
I'm an accident waiting to happen.
So hurry and happen to me.
Wait a minute! You kissed a strange French girl on your wedding day!
Oh no, what have I done? Wait!
Well, it seems that the blindfold and the fake French accents have led to a terrible misunderstanding. What a mess. Will it all work out in the end? Of course it will. It's not real, it's a musical. Everything always works out in musicals. In real life, nothing ever works out, and the only people who burst into song are the hopelessly deranged.
Mr. Feltzig!
Where's that philandering foreigner?
Mr. Feltzig!
How long can it take to seduce one
Mr.
bride?
Feltzig! You don't need Janet no more!
Kitty, not now!
But I've been working on the mind reading act! Presenting Kitty, the incomprehensible. Now think of something.
Oh, I'm thinking of something, all right.
Wait, I'm getting it! Pick up some milk and a loaf of rye bread, and don't forget to shave your legs.
You're reading your own mind, you idiot.
Oh, no wonder it was so easy. Mr. Feltzig, it would seem that the wedding is proceeding according to schedule. Now, it's time you received your just desserts. What do you think, partner? Should we whip up something special for Mr. Feltzig? How about the Toledo surprise? An inspired choice.
A Toledo surprise. I've never heard of that.
No, you haven't. Those who have heard of it are generally never heard from again. We'll share the recipe with you. First, you chop the nuts, and then you pound the dough, and then you bake it up nice and slow, and then you got your Toledo surprise.
Could you run that by me again?
It's a very simple recipe, Mr. Feltzig. First you chop the nuts, and then you pound the dough, and then you bake it up nice and slow, and then you got your Toledo surprise. Say, why don't we give him a little taste? All right.
Now hold it! What style? What grace? What rhythm? Open your fists. Now shake them. Now give me that recipe one more time. Da 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 da. Go.
Chop the nuts, pound the dough, bake it up
Front.
nice and slow. Then you got a Toledo surprise.
Now sell it.
Pick the peach, peel the skin, mush it up, throw it in. That's a tasty Toledo surprise.
Now you're
First
cooking.
you beat it up, then you sweet it up. When you heat it up, if it tries to rise, don't let it, it's a snap. Try it, folks. Whip your whites, split your yolks, then you got a Toledo surprise.
You boys are naturals.
Honest.
Keep it up, I'll go work on the contracts.
Hey!
A 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mr. Feltzig, oh, what's going on here?
Kitty, I'm developing a new act.
Toledo surprise. Wait, you're putting gangsters in the show, but you won't put me in? They're not even in the union!
You got it all wrong. The new act, it's for you, Kitty. And these boys are your backup dancers.
Backup dancers? Holy cats! What that hot Toledo does to my libido. Good, gasanito, sugary yum yum.
spots to tuxedo, Toledo surprise.
Wait. Adolfo, he make an announcement. Wedding is off.
What? For the love of God, why?
Adolfo has made love to bride.
It's not the bride, you idiot. That's the chaperone.
What?
The wedding is on.
Wedding is off.
What?
Robert kissed a French girl. Her name is Mimi. She's very beautiful.
I'm sorry, Janet. I couldn't help it. She was just like you, only French.
Sweet mother of pearl.
Really?
Yes, madam.
What is all this commotion about?
The wedding, madam.
Oh, is there going to be a wedding?
Not anymore. Oh, what a tragedy. What a wonderful, wonderful tragedy. Clear the floor, boys. I'll show you how it's done. First you beat it up, then you sweet it up. When you heat it up, if it tries to rise, don't let it. Toledo surprise.
Surprise?
Wait till it's ready.
Surprise?
Wait till it's ready.
Surprise?
Wait till it's ready.
Now it's looking ready. Surprise!
You got it.
Makes me cringe, makes me think. This dessert takes the cake. Hits me like a torpedo. Toledo surprise.
Toledo surprise!
Toledo surprise. Surprise.
Surprise!
Yes. Were the tune so infectious?
Oh, Robert, this is the saddest day of my life.
Wedding bells won't ring, wedding bells won't chime. They will never celebrate a happy wedding time.
And that's that. The curtain falls and it's time for the intermission. I don't like intermissions. They ruin the magic, you know? One moment you're lost in a world of music and romance, and then bang, you're surrounded by tourists. Crinkling candy wrappers and nattering about the lack of women's restrooms. It's cruel. Oh, it's a power bar. I have a bit of a blood sugar issue. I have to eat small meals all day long or else I get jittery. I know it's rude, but you wouldn't like the alternative, believe you me. Believe you me. I remember my wedding day. I didn't eat breakfast and the ceremony wasn't until 4 in the afternoon. Are you surprised that I was married? Well, there you are. You shouldn't go making assumptions about people, now should you? I'm a very complicated person. I have to pee now. I'll be quick, I promise.